feeling comfortable. And to all the new listeners, welcome. And if you're new, I only ask for one thing, is if you could share this with one other person, if you're learning something, if it feels like if it's adding value to what we're doing. So today there's that one activity that we compare to life. It needs to have a vision of where you're going, goals. It's got to be able to measure things as well. Discipline, consistency, and patience. And remember that change and staying uncomfortable is where growth happens. And that activity itself is a workout. Workout itself is a life, and life itself is a workout.
I agree with you 100%. There's two things that I always remember, Kyvan. One is that Rome wasn't built in a day, right? It took a while to get to where it is today. And you don't just get the ass you want by sitting on it.
Damn right, you don't get the abs you want by sitting on it either. And when we think about life and working out, I think there are very, very similar things when you look at the pros and the cons as well, right? So first of all, when you want to start working out, the first question a trainer will ask you is, what's your goal? And in life, I think it's also extremely important for you to know what is your purpose or what's your goal that you're trying to go after as well. And it goes hand to hand. In life, if you don't have a goal, you're just living a repetition of doing the things that aren't getting you closer to your end mission. And in a workout life, you're not going to get the results that you want unless you put a blueprint or a plan of action.
Exactly. It's like driving a car, right? Imagine you're the driver. There's no end destination. You're just driving around all of Chicago. You're just driving around all of LA. You don't know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You must know where you're going. Have a vision of where you're going so you can get there. So like you said, working out, you need to know what you want to look like. Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle? Figure out what you want and then go after it.
And with that, right, once you figure out what you want, I think you really need to understand how are you going to measure the process that you're making. It becomes very, very tough sometimes for us to kind of not measure as we're kind of growing in life, right? Because you feel like shit isn't happening. Like, I want to get to this place, but shit's not happening. But a lot of time, it takes time. It takes consistency. It takes persistence. It takes discipline. All of these things takes a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, let's pretend that you're an intern at a company right now, right? You want to make sure that your next goal is to get a job at that company. You're not going to become the CEO of that company that you're working for. You've got to work your way up from intern to account manager, to senior account manager, to director, to VP, to CEO. You're not going to take that leap. Same thing with working out. When you break down your goals, you can't say, all right, I want to lose 12 pounds this year and think that it's going to happen in 12 days. I mean, there's a drastic way you can make that happen, sure, but if you are doing it the right way, the natural way, you can even break it down and say, I want to lose 12 pounds this year, and then make sure you lose 1 pound a month. And that's all you have to measure against. Did I lose 1 pound this month? If not, you're off track, you're not going to hit your goal. So don't get overwhelmed by this larger vision of where you want to be. It's okay to break those down into smaller goals and say, I'll lose 1 pound a month and then go after it.
Yeah, and to that point, right, so I've been talking to my trainer, right, and my end goal is I want to get the body that is almost like Hrithik Roshan. If you guys don't know who that is, he's a Bollywood actor and he's known to have a very, very strong physical, I would say, kind of structure, a framework around his body. And I had this conversation with him in probably October of 2018, and our end result date is summer of 2020. So what we are doing is we are reverse engineering this whole entire process. If I want to get to that level, how do I break these results into quarterly or each month, right? So therefore it's like there's some kind of freaking measure that we're getting towards it. So therefore, we know that I'm making progress to get that body that I want by 2020. But that also requires a lot of fucking patience, which I don't fucking have.
Yeah, and just like in life, right? When you're going after your goals, it may not happen overnight and you don't see the results right away, right? You're putting in all this work, you're putting in the late hours, and then you just like, well, why am I not getting promoted? Why am I not senior level XYZ? Why am I not VP? Why am I not a director? Have patience. If you're doing all the right things, you will see the results.
And with that, the other important part is learn to also take breaks. Because you can't always keep going. And I think we talked about this as well, where I was at a point in my life where I was not improving, but I was hurting myself because I was getting burned out every single day. And I think you mentioned something which really stuck with me, which was like, hey, you're the #1 employee of your own business, and Kaiven, if you don't take care of yourself, how is your company going to run?
Yeah, you were burning yourself out, right? And same thing goes to working out too. You're working out so hard, you're gonna get injured. You have to be very careful as to how much effort you put in. You know, they can be short bursts of effort, right? Power hour, you know, you have, 4-hour work week, right? Like all these things are the concept of, you can work really hard in short increments, or you can go sort of a marathon pace and take your time. But either way you do it, you cannot just go 100 miles an hour every single day and burn yourself out. You will not get the results at the gym. You will not get the results in life because you're going to get sick, you're going to get injured, you're not going to feel like it, you're going to wonder, why did I start this? I don't understand it. You're going to have all these negative energy, negative thoughts. You'll burn yourself out and you'll break down.
And life itself will throw you so much shit at you, and it'll test you for your patience. It'll test you when you don't want to do the shit. Are you going to show up and be willing to put in the work? It's going to fucking take a lot out of you to see if you are ready to get what you're seeking. And a lot of people forget that, right? A lot of people are like, oh, if I just had this shit, right? But they forget what you already have, and you're going after something. It's like, be appreciative of the things that you have and show up every day, and you'll get to the end results. But people fail in that.
Yeah, they forget to realize that there is suffering involved in life. There's pain involved in life. There's change involved in life. If there's no pain, if there's no change, it's going to remain the same. If you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and you look in the mirror and you're just not happy, whether it's with your life or whether it's your body, since we're talking about working out, that means whatever you're doing is not working, right? So you must change things up and you must feel the pain. Think about, when you're doing squats, right? You want that ass that you've been looking for. Squats are not fun. They're probably the most painful, most boring exercise, but if you want that ass you've been looking for, you have to go through the pain.
I hate fucking squats. John knows this very well. I hate squats. But in order for me to get the results I want, I must suffer through the pain, because on the other side, it's fucking bliss.
Yeah, and you must change it up, right?
Yeah.
Imagine you do, 225 pounds worth of squats every time you go to the gym, and you don't change anything. You don't change your frequency. You don't change the weight. Your ass is going to look still exactly the same. You got up to a certain point, but that's it. You've hit a plateau.
Yep.
Same thing with life. Fine. You now have achieved some of the things that you always wanted. You look back 10 years and you go, wow, I've come so far. But you've come so far because you made some changes in your life to get to where you are today.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to look ahead of you 10 more years, 1 more year, whatever it is, you've got to change something. Whatever you do now is your new baseline. Something needs to change to get you to where you want to go.
And you know what? The other part about life and working out, which gets me so is people want instant fucking results, right? And I have a friend, and this person is, for an example, right, is trying to lose weight, trying to look really toned and skinny, and in my mind, I'm like, for the last 28 years, you've been eating fucking shit, putting this shit in your fucking body and now you want instant results within 6 months to look like, for an example, either Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie. Man, do you know how long it takes to get those fucking results?
Was it a man that was looking for a female body?
No, it was a female that was looking for a female body. But you get the idea that I'm saying, right? You've been putting shit in your body for the last 28 years, and now you are looking to look something like that within 6 months.
Exactly. It's the patience. It's the discipline, right? You have to be disciplined. You know, eat delicious or look delicious, right? You've got to eat right if you want the results. For me, and I don't know if you do this, Kevin, for me when I don't work out, I know I feel like you work out every day, but for me, I take a little break once in a while. I may not work out every single day. And what I do is if there's a day that I don't end up at the gym, I will change my diet drastically that day, where it's way more low calorie. Like my true fear is to be just obese and unattractive. And I know someday, you know, this is all temporary. Everything is temporary in life, right?
Yep.
That's the beauty of life in a way. It's all temporary. But work towards what you do want and make a conscious effort. Be disciplined with your diet, with your workout. Show up every day. You don't need to do 18 hours a day of working out or life, like, you know, working and burning yourself out. But be disciplined about the 8 hours that you do have at work or the hour that you have at the gym. Put in those hours, be disciplined, and you will see the results.
And I always keep saying this, right? I think in my previous episodes, we also talked about is discipline equals freedom. Like, once you understand that concept, guys, once you really realize that, hey, I really should learn to put in the effort to show up. And that is, I would say, 60% of the battle that people have is to show up. And all I've been doing is fucking showing up. That's it.
And are you seeing the results?
Yeah, look where it's got me. Just by showing up. Show up, people. That is what I'm going to tell you. Show up in life, in gym, in your marriage, if you're a dad, show up for your kid, put in the fucking work, and see how amazing it will be.
Exactly. It's all about the effort. And I think 60%, I think 90% of it is just showing up. Because how many times do we just not want to go to the gym? And, you know, there's some hacks to it, like, you know, sleep in your gym clothes so that when you wake up, you just end up at the gym. You know, things like that. Like, think about how you can make your life easier to achieve your goals. Set yourself up for success.
Set yourself up for success, exactly. And figure out what that is for you, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Because you judging other people and you trying to compare your life to other people is not going to get you where you want to. It's just going to get you back 2 more steps, because you're going to be like, well, if that person is doing it, why the fuck am I doing it now?
Yeah, back in 1960, you know, there was no Instagram. There was no way to compare, you know, what you look like to, you know, you can only compare yourself to your neighbor.
Yeah.
You can only compare yourself to people in town. Now, the unfortunate part about Instagram is you have the visibility into the whole world. So
and
now you're
life.
into other people's lives too. And you, again, Instagram is a highlight reel.
Yeah.
You're seeing maybe the 1%, maybe 2% of their lives. Right? The highlight reel. You're not seeing the breakdowns. You're not seeing the effort. You're not seeing the journey. And so now I have some people, you know, my female friends will send me a photo or an Instagram handle of a girl that they want to look like. I'm like, this is so fake. And I hate that you're comparing yourself to this, because this is not real. That, you know, boob to hip to like waist ratio, that just, that there's something wrong with this. This is not natural. There's some work done here. You're not just gonna look like this. So it's the comparison in life, at the gym, when you're comparing yourself to Instagram models or whatever you want to look like. It's your journey. You cannot feel bad about where they're at versus where you're at. You don't realize that maybe they've put in 5 to 10 years of working out. Let's say they are naturally that beautiful from a body perspective, from a physical perspective. There are sacrifices that they made, whether it's their diet, it's showing up every day and working out, and now you're seeing the end result. Know that you can get there too, but just don't compare and feel so down that how will I ever get there? Well, you'll get there by starting.
Yeah. So start today, and remember that life itself is a workout. You're going to have to put in work. You're going to have to create goals. You're going to have discipline. You're going to have to show up when you don't want to, and that's when it's really going to matter. And that's what's going to separate you apart from everybody else that's out there. So remember, this is where growth happens, and remember to go and get your reps in today. Till next time.